Okay, we've got Philly and Kansas City in progress here. It's a 14-10 game. KC leads. KC just took over after a fourth down stop on a 4th and 2. That was it fell short for Philly on a run. Seemed to have things in his favor, but couldn't get it done. And I haven't seen this move in a while. I hope we're not frozen as soon as we get here. That would be kind of a bummer. Are we? Oh, we're not. Okay. All right. So Mahomes ran for 23 yards for a first down. Philly had come into the game third in the league in 4th down attempts at 22. So not unusual for them. And Kansas City came into the league worst in defense. 32nd league, giving up 75% of 4th down conversion attempts. But Philly couldn't get it done there. And now KC is sort of in a little bit of an upper hand here with the 4-point lead and the ball in Philadelphia territory. And they get 11 yards to 29. We should get up some of the other screens here. Kansas City comes into the game 5-4 in pretty decent shape in the AFC West. I think in 3rd place, but well within striking distance. Philadelphia comes in though 3-6, so two teams that I don't think have performed up to their real life level, but Philadelphia is much more behind the 8 ball, as it were. Short pass guessed wrong, incomplete. Advantage situation for KC. Couldn't bring it in. KC gets about 7 guessed wrong passing opportunities a game, which is just 20th in the league. But there could not convert. And now sits at 2nd and 10 from the 29. Well, if you have strong kicking card, here's a draw, guessed wrong. Pacheco, opportunity here, just gets 2, 3rd and 8. It's 3rd and 8 from the 27, well within field goal range. Kansas City leading the league in field goals with 23 field goals, tops in the league. I don't know if that's something you want to really be happy about, but when you look at their overall red zone efficiency, yeah, 2nd in the league at 88%. So I don't think you can have any problem with that high field goal number. Given when you get in the red zone, you score. That's a good thing. They see 9th in the league in scoring overall. Short pass, Kelsey. It's intercepted. Philadelphia, not sure about their interception card. No chance of a penalty here. Let's see what Philadelphia's interception card shows, if anything. Sometimes when you watch, you don't get the interception return to the full effect. It just tells you no. Right there, no advancement. Really, we don't know what the heck went on. We don't really get to see that very well. For some reason, that's probably the worst thing about watching a game is interception returns. We really never get to see one. At least I don't remember seeing one. Anyway, Philadelphia now sits back with the ball at their own 34. 8:06 left 3rd quarter. Philadelphia came in 9th in the league in interceptions, just under 1 a game so far. It'll be their 9th of the year, and this is their 10th game. Short pass, Godert. Must run. Just 1 yard for Hurts, 2nd and 9. Philadelphia 2nd in the league in must run attempts at 32. Their opponents have only had 9. That margin is good for second best in the league, as you might expect with Jalen Hurts. As is the case with KC, typically with our commish, heavy call pass team, leading the league in calling pass 92% of the time. As a result, number one in guessed right passes at 93%. End run swift, guessed wrong as you'd imagine. And it's only 5 yards, 3rd and 4. The KC defense gives up 20 guessed wrong runs per game, which is 27th in the league. But just 3 guessed wrong passes, which is number 1 in the league on a per game basis. So generally, KC's going to let you run it. But these aren't robots coaching these teams. They'll see if you try to take advantage of something and adjust on the fly. 3rd and 4. Blocking back versus a 4-2-5 nickel here. So a lot of flexibility still in this D. Difficult to get to the line buck, though. So if anything, you really have to sell out to get to the line buck. You can do anything else you want. Flat pass, Swift. There's a 4 there. Needs 4 yards. And on this 3rd down conversion, it's incomplete. Nice KC defensive one-man flat pass card makes the play. And it is 4th down. KC's defense on 3rd comes in 6th best in the league. It's not a bad 4th down performance, but good on 3rd down at 35%. So nothing off the interception. It's a flag down here, possible flag down, 51 yards. Just watch out for the offside within 5 yards here, like we are. That's what KC hopes to avoid, and they avoid it. And they start off the 14-yard line, up 14-10, 6:18 left 3rd quarter. Slow-moving 3rd quarter, I must say. Make sure everything's working here. I hope it is. You can usually test the mic. Yeah, mic looks like it's working. It's good. Okay. Long pass. Man back there. Guess right. He's going to get flushed. Possible penalty coming. Incomplete. No penalty called. Let me take a look at the penalty comparisons here. Kansas City has struggled in margin. Getting called for more penalties than their opponent and for more yards. Similar story, though, for Philadelphia, especially in the yardage category. Too tight against this 3-3-5 blitzing. Philadelphia typically not a big blitzer, just 24th in sack contests. There's a 37-yard run for Pacheco into Philadelphia territory at the 49. Pacheco hits one of his biggies. It's 1st and 10 at the 49. Too tight versus 4-3 blitzing. Looking pass. Nobody home. Opportunity for Mahomes. He gets 10 yards plus another 15. And Kansas City's in business up at the 24-yard line. 1st and 10. Let's take a look at this Philadelphia notebook. See the penalties there. 8, 9. It looks like a little bit favorable for Philadelphia. And you see the interception return. Oof. Boy, touchdown on 7. Couldn't bring it in last time. Flat pass. Kelsey. A man is there. 7 yards. Let's see if we can get this pass rush matchup. And we do. Had a lot of men on the line there. Did not pull the D-die. Take a look at injuries. Philadelphia really banged up. That's an important one, I believe. The others look less important, but I'm not sure. Justin Watson, not very important for KC. He came into the game with 37 targets. So that's something. Not close to the leader on the team, but he's certainly used. Off tackle, Edwards-Helaire. No gain on the dreaded 5. That brings up a 3rd and 3. 3rd and 3. Kansas City has nice balanced play calling. See them at the 3rd and 1. They lead the league in rushing. But here at 3rd and 3, it's really balanced across all play calls. The only one you don't see very often is flat pass, which is one of KC's favorite plays this year. Let's see if they go back to it here. On this 3rd and 3, it's a off tackle. Pacheco guessed right. Man is there. Gonna get the first down. On the 10 roll. Couldn't make the block, but could make the first down. 1st and 10 up to the 14 into this red zone. Talked about Kansas City's offensive success in the red zone. On the D side, Philadelphia has not been very good. 81% against, which is 25th in the league. 24th most trips at 36, and 26 of those times a touchdown has been scored. Linebacker Pacheco, just a yard. 2nd and 9. Obviously, critical position here. You got the leverage versus a 1-score versus 2-score game going on, depending on how this drive ends up. So in the red zone, KC's just had 4 field goals in 27 attempts. So out of their 23 field goals, only 4 of them have been in the red zone. Flat pass, Edwards-Helaire, nobody home. Opportunity, gets 8 yards. You see the pass rush coming, but really not much you can do against this KC line. 3rd and 1 from the 5. And it's McKinnon and Pacheco. McKinnon comes in just 19 attempts. He's run 7 linebacker, 8 off tackle, 4 end run on this 3rd and 1. Could also go to Mahomes, who's had 8 linebucks so far this year. It's a linebucker to Pacheco. Key to Mahomes. He should get some yards here. He does. Touchdown, KC. 20-10. Bucker comes on for the extra point. Kansas City has not converted 1 2-point conversion so far this year. Comes on for the 1, as you'd expect here, to take an 11-point lead. And it's good. Touchback. Philadelphia has some work to do here. Down 21-10. 3rd quarter finally ticking down. 2:06 now. In the 4 wide set. Linebucker, Swift, and a face mask. It's going to make this a 16-yard net play, just a yard against the great Chris Jones in the middle. Up to the 41, 1st down. There's 3 wide now, as Zacharias goes off the field in place of Goddard. Goddard came into the game as the top targeted man in the offense, and there's a short pass to him, 8 yards on the must run. Goddard 19th in the league in targets, but 92 coming into the game. He's caught 51% of them, which is below the team completion percentage of 62%. That's despite having 101 of those, 24 of those targets being flat. He's mostly targeted short, as you saw there, which I guess explains the lower completion percentage when throwing to Goddard. He's 2nd in the league in short pass targets at 68 coming into the game. No targets deep. Linebuck hurts. No gain. Chris Jones there to make the play again. Let's take a look at Goddard's card. Yeah, he can go deep, but has not been targeted deep yet this year. 3rd and 2. Philadelphia on this 3rd and 2. 5th and small ball. Does a nice job of splitting things up between running and flat passing here. 11th in the league in running, 7th in flat pass, look and pass. Pretty balanced in terms of where he goes to in the flats. Doesn't really focus in on look in. If he goes flat. On this 3rd and 2 from the 49, you might be thinking 2-down territory. It's a linebucker to Swift. Men are there. This time 6 yards, 1st down. Into Kansas City territory as we cross into the 4th quarter. It's 21-10. Kansas City leads the Eagles. Three-wide versus the 3-3-5. Linebuck back to Swift. Gets 5 yards on the 3 white die, avoiding the guest right scenario of the 1. 2nd and 5 now from the 40. DeAndre Swift going to get replaced next year with Saquon Barkley. Should be a dynamic hire for Barkley next year. Swift comes into the game with 107 rush attempts. That might be 108. And he leans toward the linebuck, as you're seeing here today. 66 linebucks out of his 107 or 108 attempts, compared to 29 and 13 for off tackle and end run. Overall, this team likes the linebuck. 3rd in the league in running linebuck at 57% of the time. This time's one of their off tackles, and they're going to get 6 yards. That's Gainwell. Gainwell does actually shy away a bit from the linebuck, and you saw it there. His plurality is in the off tackle. 1st and 10. Gainwell stays in. Gainwell came into the game with 62 attempts. So a little less, a little bit more than half in terms of the split with Swift. Back to the linebuck now with Gainwell. Guess strong. Chris Jones patrolling the middle. It's a short gain, 17 yards up to the KC 17. Yeah, Gainwell came into the game with 27 linebucks. Yeah, actually, that is his plurality of a run is still linebuck. So both Gainwell and Swift lean that way. Correction there. Short pass, Julio Jones. 4 men in zone. Nice blitz coming. Pressure coming against these zeros. Can the KC Chiefs get home? They can't. Flushed. That's a 32% chance, and it's a touchdown. Indeed it is. Swift makes the catch on the dump off. So went to the 32% man. 48 would have cashed for Chris Jones or Mike Dana. I don't know what his name is. Where's Karflitis? Oh, okay. That was Karflitis against the 7. Got it. Okay. Yeah. So 21-16, possible chance to go for 2 here. The Eagles have only converted 1 2-point conversion all year long. And they're going to try to make it a second. That 2-pointer was a pass to Zacharias, interestingly. He's not in the game right now. And it's a linebucker Hurts looking for 2 on the tush push, and he is not going to get there, but if there's a holding against Philadelphia, that'll be declined. We will stay at 21-16. We'll accept it on the kickoff anyway. Looking to avoid the touchback. One of Strat's flaws here. The touchback's still a touchback, even though the 10 yards were marched off. And indeed it is touchback. So, 1st and 10, KC up 5. 12:54 left. This Chiefs offense still has work to do. This team comes in 5th in the league in flat passing. So heavy dose of flat passing overall for the Chiefs this year. 40% of the time. Here's a short pass to Kelsey. Not having faced much pass rush today. Short passing seems to be a good idea. We haven't watched the game enough to know if KC's emphasized it today. There's your 0%. Just a 1 yard, and there's a fumble. And it's recovered by the Eagles. Oh, my. Big fumble by KC on that receiver fumble. They've came into the game losing 3 receiver fumbles already this year, and that's going to be their 4th. No penalty on the play. We don't know about a return right now. It doesn't look like they tried to return it, but we don't know for sure. In any event, we do know Philadelphia has the ball at the KC 26. Yeah, KC up there in receiver fumbles, and that would make sense. In that case, it was a dump off, but with all the flat passing that they do, combined with the high fumble rating, you're going to lose some. 1st and 10 here, still in that 3 wide, and now it goes 4-3. So that opens up Swift. Swift is guaranteed not to be double teamed in a short pass scenario. Don't know if that's something that Coach Tim has taken advantage of this year. I can take a quick look here, but right now we have a linebacker back to Swift, predictably. Gets 6 yards. Swift just been targeted on 3 short pass attempts all year. So does not look like it compared to 71 in the flats, which is 8th best, 8th highest in the league. In that situation, you can really fire away if you wish to Swift and not have to worry about any double team possibility. Not in this case, though. This is a block back versus 4-3. And there's Swift's card. Short pass Goddard. He's double teamed. There's a holding against Philadelphia. And that's going to push him back. That'll be accepted, most likely. As the alternative is to face a 3rd and 4. And you'd rather have the 2nd and 14 than they do. Philadelphia comes in here 20th in the league in 3rd in the league in field goals with 20. So they might be looking at a field goal situation here unless they can dig out of this 2nd and 14 hole. Goes 3 wide, which forces that matchup for Chris Jones on Kelsey. Looking pass. Man is there. Going to Swift. Looking for the 6 on the white die. Can't find it, but gets 13 yards if it holds up, and it does. So 3rd and 1 as DeAndre Swift and his yak rating of B come through to make this a 3rd and short. On defense, Kansas City does a great job on 3rd and short. 2nd in the league, holding opponents to 33% conversions. Well, Philadelphia is the worst in the league at 33%. Wow, isn't that interesting? Compared to what happens in real life. That's quite the switch. It's a guessed wrong line buck. They have all the ingredients to make it here, and they do. And it's a 1st down up to the 11-yard line. Good positioning now for Philadelphia. And their 7th rated red zone offense. Coming to the game scoring 26 of 36 times touchdowns. Scoring overall 34 of 36 times. Combining touchdowns and field goals. In case he struggled in the red zone, 28th. Allowing 82%. Touchdown 17 on 24. Flat pass, Swift. He's doubled up very nicely by Coach Tim. And looking for a pick. Doesn't get it. Went down card, which sort of got me a little bit excited. But on the defensive side, the 12, of course, incomplete. 2nd and 10. So on that 5 roll, that would have been an incomplete pass if Swift was not double teamed. Chiefs have been double teaming a lot on defense. 10th in the league, 22 double teams a game. Short pass, Julio Jones, 4 men in zone. Good blitz coming. Can they get home? They can't, but incomplete. 3rd and 10. Not enough pass rushers to boost Jones up above that 1. Really important to get that linebacker in there in the mix, because that is why that 1 versus 0 matchup, when it goes up a couple notches, it goes up fast. But 3rd and 10 now. But it seems like Casey's kind of reluctant to leave the flats and just wants to sort of leave it to Jones there. But that's one of the downsides of KC, 4th in the league, 4th highest amount of men in zone on flat passes at 1.0, 18th overall when you combine flat pass and looking pass at 0.93 men in zone. So it does leave the zone every now and then. But overall, KC has very high men in zone ratings, not moving guys too much. Short pass, 5th in the league. Long pass, 2nd in the league. Short pass, Zacchaeus. On this 3rd and 10. Can they bring it home? They can! Touchdown! Avoid the blitz entirely. Would have been a safety blitz check, but no safety blitz coming. And as a result, it's a touchdown on the defensive card. Full house. Trying to take a 2-point lead here. Sorry, 3-point lead here. Now up 1. With 9:36 left. Philadelphia's obvious struggles in short yardage as it continue here on this 2-point conversion. It's a line buck to Swift. It's guessed right. Needs 2 yards. Doesn't get it. 22-21. Let's take a look at 4th down, too. I'm curious. 4th down. 1 and 2. They've converted. No, sorry. Wrong team. 4th down, 1 and 2. They're converted 53% of the time, which is 19th in the league. An illegal block for KCA. It's going to put him back to the 16-yard line to start off. So, but overall, Philadelphia has really struggled here in short yardage. I'm just sort of fascinated with that. They've done a good job of being guessed right, not that often. I mean, it looks like good play calling, just maybe some bad dice. Just 42% guessed right on 3rd and 1. There's 27% guessed right on 4th and 1. Yet, uncharacteristically low performance versus what had been a historically strong team in short yardage. Philadelphia is keyed often, but teams are not very successful in keying. Just trying to explore this a little bit more on the 2nd and 10 now. KC down a point, 9 minutes left. They key 3.9 times per game, but success only 11% of the time, which is 5th best in the league. So we saw that. We came into it just before the broadcast came up, a 4th and 2, where they had Kansas City basically with its pants down defensively, but hit a bad roll on the defensive card, and that was that. KC ball. 2nd and 10 at 16. Here's what KC should be getting today is some good amount of dump offs. And they get one there, a successful one. They make it 3rd and 3. KC came into the game 11th best dump off margin. Plus 6th. 34 dump off attempts for Kansas City versus 28 its opponents. So a nice margin coming in and really big pass rush advantage today, which ultimately should be the difference in this game. But, the dice have something to say about that. 3rd and 3. And you see KC going more short pass. So you think the Chief is sort of caught up to that possibility. But now throwing into 2 men in zone, it's complete for 7 yards. Ooh, back to the flat pass they went. And Philadelphia was waiting for it, but the white die works for the Chiefs. And it's 1st and 10 up to the 30. 8:24 left now. 4th quarter. This Philadelphia defense, 20th in the league in calling run at 18%. It's more middle of the road. 9th in guess margin, +3 is Philadelphia so far this year. Guessing right on defense 65% of the time, which is good for 4th best in the league. Looking pass. Hardman, 10 yards. First down to the 40. You don't need much here with Butker, which is a big factor when playing teams like KC, a few others that have a booming leg like this. Out to the 43, he's 2 through 10. So just 17 yards away from pretty strong field goal position. I'm going to get a bunch of it here from Kelsey, or so he hopes. 1st and 10, 4 men in zone. Here it comes, and it's a dump off. That's what KC needs, a steady diet of dump offs, but Pacheco can't bring it in. 2nd and 10. It's because you don't get a dump off doesn't mean it's going to work, but boy, the odds are in your favor. Now moving to 2nd and 10, where Kansas City's 31st in the league in running. Not a big running team here. Overall, 23% of the time, the league runs at a 39% clip. So 1 out of 4 times, roughly, you'll see KC run here. Usually flat passing, 3rd in the league there. Flat passing about half the time. Here's a short pass to Valdez-Scantling. Trying to take advantage of this pass rush advantage. Makes a lot of sense to see Coach Tim shift to it. Looking for another one here. Gets it again. Nice job. And he gets yards this time. Yeah, 6. Pacheco missed on his card last time. Hits this time for 6 for a successful 2nd down in relative terms, making it 3rd and 4. I like Casey's profile in this 3rd and 4. Talked about it before. Nice and balanced. Difficult to know where he's going to go, though the three wide is a bit of a tell. With 7:12 left, KC is not in 4th down territory. Just 7 4th down attempts so far this year, 28th in the league. Hardman in as your 3rd. Flat pass, Kelsey, just 1 man there, avoid the 2 men, loses 3, but a personal foul against Philadelphia. Oh, that flips everything. First down to the 42. Into field goal range, Kansas City goes. They were staring at a 4th and 7 instead. It's 1st and 10 from the 42. Rough one for Philly. $6:54 left. Let's look ahead and think about the Eagles kicker for a moment. With all their field goals so far this year. And there's another one out to the 44, 2 through 9, 12. So just as lethal pretty much as Butker. I would say even Steven, because you get that extra yard. So field goals don't feel good here. You just don't feel good with field goals. How could you? Line Buck Pacheco, and he gets nothing on the 1 right die. Guessed right. Would have been just 1 yard, guessed wrong. 2nd and 10. KC 22nd league in running on 1st down, number 1 league in flat passing on 1st down. So 1st down and 10s, 53% of the time. On a 2nd down, it's a short pass. It's complete. No dump off needed. It's on Mahomes' card for 10, up to the 32. 6 minutes now left. And Philadelphia's objective here is keep him out of the end zone. So you don't need to rush him. Time is not an issue. So you don't need to take big chances, but we see the blitz coming anyway. Short pass, Kelsey. He's not doubled up. 3 men in zone, 10 yards. Boy, that short pass is there for the taking. That card and the dump offs and everything else. It's only 174 yards from Mahomes. A little bit surprising. Too tight. Against a blitzing 4-3. Pacheco's a 7, isn't he? Yeah. I mean, just begging for dump offs. Looking past Kelsey. Nobody home. 22 yards. He gets 8. Trey Smith out for the half. Okay, well, that matters. So Trey Smith is on facing Jordan Davis. Now, KC has a lot of flexibility in its line, I believe, can move guys around. Not sure, and I'm where everybody can go. And I'm pretty sure Philadelphia also has lots of options in terms of its pass rushers and whatnot. And here's how comes Algretti. He's a pretty good guy at 4. But Jordan Davis stays in. No pass rush specialist. If there is one, we're not seeing it, or maybe they're injured. 2nd and 2. Only loses Smith for the half. So really, it's a dodge bullet. Short pass. Nobody home. Needs 14. Gets 11. 1st and goal. 4:12 left. KC will not go for 2 here. Pretty much guarantee that. If they get a touchdown on this 1st and goal from the 3. 1st and goal, KC, 14th in the league in running, 20th in short passing, nicely distributed. Linebuck, guessed wrong. Mahomes needs 3. Gonna get it. Joe Tooney makes the block. Touchdown, KC, 27-22. And they will make it a 7-point game. I will tell you. Oh, sorry, it's a 5-point game. Boy, I'm just not reading correctly. Okay, so they'll go for 2 for sure. Sorry. Of course they'll go for 2. I was reading it the other way. They were up 1 and they're going to be up 7, and then they get a chance to go to 8 or 9. I was just crossing my numbers up. So here's that 2-point attempt. Kansas City is yet to convert one so far this year. Looking for their first. They've already stopped Philadelphia twice, which is huge implications in this game. In the shotgun is Pacheco, which kind of gives away the run plug zones if you ever did. Short pass, guessed wrong. Touchdown, 2-pointer is good. Touchdown. And it makes it a 29-22 game. KC with 3:54 left, 4th quarter. And we'll start with touchback. Big drive there from Philadelphia, aided by that flagrant face mask, making a huge difference. Three wide. Back to the linebacker, 3:54 left. It's Gainwell. Gets 4. Second and 6. Dallas running away with the NFC East, so not sure there's too much in the way of implications here for the NFC East race. A 90% chance of a sack comes through, and a loss of just 4, 3rd and 10. As you can see, this is a wild division here with about a 6-game lead roughly for the Cowboys coming in. AFC West, a different story. You see KC here right in the hunt with the Broncos and the Chargers. Well, they've already played the Broncos twice this year. 3rd and 10. Short pass, Devonta Smith. Not doubled up. Hurts not shadowed. Incomplete. Almost intercepted. 4th and 10, 2:24. Decision time for Philly here with all their timeouts. 10 yards, a lot to ask for Hurts on the must run. You just wish you had a little bit better must run territory for him. It's just 2 through 5. And you'd love to pick up that 6, but can't here on this 4th and 10. Doesn't bring much of a must run, of course. Short pass, DeAndre Swift. And the asterisk is definitely activated here because Swift is out running. And is that what happened? Yeah. Wow. Okay. Good timing by your announcer after a couple mess ups earlier in our broadcast. Nailed it there. So what happened? You had Swift go out for the pass. He's the blocking back. Karlaftis, despite his just 1 rating, when Swift is out there, he'd be the man to block. No player. It says 0%. It's 100%. And you sort of see the auto sack occur here. Potential pass rush, star. You don't even see a sack roll, right? It's just an auto sack. So that's the chance you take going to Swift. Would have gotten through with the pass rush. Would have been 0% if he would have thrown to a different guy that was not doubled. But that's the way it goes sometimes. Here's Edwards-Helaire trying to wrap it up here for the Chiefs. Now you need to take some chances, and you see the key coming, which was a wise move by Coach Tim Hayes, that is. Tim Hay, because you need to take some chances. You need to get jar that ball loose if you can. Big play here on 3rd and 1. You don't mind Philadelphia scoring even. I mean, just make a high leverage defensive call. Hope you nail it, and if not, that's what you don't want, because now more time runs. And that's it, actually. That should be it. Philadelphia comes into Kansas City and falls by 7 points, 29-22 Chiefs. Barring a fumbled QB kneel downs. And this should be the second to last play. Discussion between the coaches here. I don't know. I mean, Casey's offense is a beast. I think Coach Irvin has more work cut out for him than usual. I mean, I think but many of us would like that offense. Overall, we'd trade it for it if we could, especially that offensive line. But it's not a vintage Chiefs offense, that's for sure. Defense getting better, but it was just indicated by all the flat passing that Casey's had to do this year. Again, 5th in the league. Trying to avoid INTs. He's done a pretty good job avoiding INTs. Middle of the pack in INTs thrown by Mahomes. But all that flat passing, 40% of the time, flat passing, tells you that the offense isn't quite what we're used to. 2 guys in the top 10 in flat pass attempts. Kelsey, 6th in the league. Rashee Rice, 7th in the league in flat pass targets. There's Tim. Say Coach Irvin.
Hey there.
Congratulations, sir.
Man, I needed that one.
Take us through. How'd you do it?
Well, principally, the most important thing I did to win was survive 3 turnovers. He didn't have any turnovers, and I had 3. 2 of them were in my end of the field. Both of them led to points. So I was pushing back against turnovers the whole game. What What else? I was doing pretty well offensively. I moved the ball okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the turnovers were a killer. Isaiah Pacheco was a real hero for me again. He's been real good this year, and especially in
Mm-hmm.
clutch situations. Got me a 37-yard run off the shadow of my goal line to give me some good field position. I did have trouble getting long passes in there. I noticed his free safety was really active, but I had trouble hooking up deep. So never
Mm-hmm.
get
Mm-hmm.
to pay the price. But he was also really hurt on the offensive line. That helped a little bit. Mike Dana got 2 sacks for me in crucial situations. One of them was against the backup at left tackle, and the second sack was against the backup's backup because the backup had been hurt. So the sacks were definitely helpful too. And so it was a good game and lucky to get out of there with a win.
Yeah, congratulations on it. I mean, you certainly had a gaping pathway, which I saw you take advantage of really nicely. You were
Which one
throwing
is that?
short. You were throwing short much more than usual.
Yeah.
You probably saw a dump off advantage there, which you had. I mean, just the offensive line matchups were just highly the line matchups just highly in KC's favor, right? Maybe because of those injuries, or KC of course has this good offensive line to begin with, but
Well,
you
and more
got dump
importantly,
off
he
after
has
dump
the
off
very
after dump
poor.
off.
He has that very poor short pass defense too.
Yeah, on top of that,
So
that's
if I
right.
was when I saw him in 4-3, and I knew he had to pull that safety up to get a fourth man in the zone, then I wanted to attack that short pass zone.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
so I did that quite a bit, and that's again part of why his safety was so active during the game.
Yep. You mentioned the turnovers. It's. I mean, I think there was a pretty big offset there, and it's so interesting. Looking at this during the game, you sort of dive into some of these numbers. Philadelphia is having some massive problems, short yardage, fourth downs, and 2-point conversions. Hey, Tim,
Hey, how's it going, Tim?
Hey,
welcome
Tim.
aboard.
Hey,
Nice
how are you
game.
doing?
After the loss, I could be doing better, but it was good, great game.
Yeah, great game. It's good to see you. I don't know if I've seen you on a
You too.
broadcast before. I just maybe have missed it, but it's great to have you on, buddy.
Yeah,
You
thank
come in
you.
a good time. We were just talking about just the mystifying because if you listen back to the broadcast, we sort of dove into it pretty deeply. That Philadelphia this season in the USFFL is having trouble short yardage, big time, and it's not like you're getting a lot of guessed wrong calls as well. I mean, it's not like people are keying it correctly. It's very low key correct. It just seems like maybe that third quarter fourth down attempt where you had, I think it was a linebacker off tackle guessed wrong, 4th and 2. Everything was in your favor. It looked like it's going to be a conversion, and it just went to the wrong spot on the defensive card. Have you seen that all year? Is that what's going on? How do you
Yeah, I mean,
diagnose it?
it's funny, but I see that on both sides of it. So many times in this game, you'll make the perfect call. You'll get the 2 men in the flat or whatever on the defensive side, and then it just goes to that one number that defeats that double team.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I wouldn't say, I think it's probably happened as much to me as it has against me. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
it's a funny game. The ebbs and flows of this game are funny.
Yeah, and that being said, and that's a very diplomatic answer. The particular team you're coaching, it
Hmm.
shouldn't be a situation where it's happening to you as much as it's happening to them. It should
Very
be
much.
Yeah.
it should be leaned in your favor if it were playing out right.
Well, it'd be nice to have the real life tush push, but in the game it's not 100% like it was, but it is what it is. This
It,
team is tough to play because of the defense, and that second half of the year they had last year just killed the Cards.
Yeah,
So
especially in that short pass zone.
yes, yeah.
That's a real
Um,
target. You did a pretty good job of protecting it as good as you can,
I
but
have to I have to guess a lot.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yep.
So yeah.
would you think the key to the game was, Tim, Mr. Hayes? That is.
Well, I thought the key to the game to stay in the game were the turnovers. Tim had 3 turnovers, I think, in that game,
Yeah.
um, which I think I was clean as far as turnovers go, and that was the difference in staying in the game. And I look back at that missed field goal at the end of the first half.
Yes.
That was big because I had to go for 2 a couple times in the fourth, and if that field goal goes through, it's a field goal game at the end. It's a little different, but
Very much.
that's the game. Elliott has been good for me all year. I'm not going to complain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I
Yeah,
saw
both.
Butker's card, and then I.
Yeah, when I
Well,
saw yours, I didn't realize that Elliott's card is pretty much every bit as good as Butker.
Yeah.
He's pretty good from deep. Elliott's pretty
Yeah.
reliable. You know, if I get inside the 40, he's pretty good. So,
I don't know
but
what I would want. 2 through 9, 12 to the 44, which is Elliott,
Yep.
or 2 through 10 to the 43. I mean, it's, picking between two
Yeah.
bright stars there. I don't know. They're equally wonderful, I'd say.
it
You
was
were
funny. There
killing
was
me
one,
with Swift out of the backfield, 9 catches, 120. I remember he got the long gain, and I had forgotten, and I saw this in scouting, but I'd forgotten that Swift could only go, I think, 20 yards.
he
So
got
you rolled
capped.
that
Yeah.
long gain for him, and I think it was 58 or something. Anyway,
Well,
the
it
math
was
said it was going to
58
go down
plus
all the way
2
to the
for a
1
touchdown.
yard line.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, well, that's the game, right? So
Yep.
Swift
Well, you're
was
not
in a
going to have
bad
that problem
play.
with Saquon next year.
No.
Yeah, well, we'll wait and see. Hey, there's still a second half of the season left. The Eagles were looking pretty good last year halfway through too. So
I would enjoy playing Saquon no matter what. That's going
it's
to be
gonna
a
be fun.
sweet card.
I
The,
would
the
enjoy
Saquon
playing your
card and the
offense.
Derrick Henry card next year. I mean, Derrick Henry's averaging 6 yards a carry on the Ravens. So
When
they
he's
And yet they
always
don't
have
want to
good
run
guess.
him that as much as they should. I don't understand why.
That's true, but I mean, it's figuring out how good the guest right halfback cards typically are for the Ravens anyway in this Lamar Jackson era.
Yeah.
That 6 yards, it might be one of the best cards ever. We'll see. Sorry,
Well,
Tim, you were going to say?
No, I was watching. There was one point in that game when I forget what the call was, but Tim made a call, and I think defensively it was called okay, and then Mahomes got a must run, and that must run card is killer. But I remember I was thinking this is just like the real game because that's what Mahomes does. I could see him running around in that backfield and then taking off for I think it was 23 yards or whatever, and it was just
Yeah, that might have been one of his best rushing games. For a second there, I thought he was going to flirt with 100 because I was planning on throwing a lot more short passes. I thought
well,
he might get there.
You really surprised me with the Pacheco, the way you used him. Like out of the backfield, I thought you'd use him more in the flat. And every time I would key towards that or lean towards that, you'd run him again.
Yeah,
And that was really hurting me.
yeah, he was getting some good rolls with the runs for sure.
Yeah. Well, you
It's a
stuck with
critical
it, and
situation.
it was good game planning. You stuck with it.
I appreciate that. Thank you,
Mr. Hay, are you an Eagles fan in real life?
And I'm a Rams fan.
Rams
So,
fan.
Scott Schumacher, the Rams coach, he and I have been friends since we were kids.
That's nice.
And we're both Rams fans. He just beat me to the league.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we're sure glad he brought you here. We really are.
yeah. This is great. Scott and I used to play this in high school, and
That's awesome.
I actually live overseas. And my father, I'm where my father worked when he was younger, and they used to play Stratomatic football. And they had these two huge boards, these wooden boards they created, and it was a community league where people would actually buy in and bid on teams. And so they get the cards each year and then bid on the cards and then play those out each year. So I got a chance to play it a little bit like that when I was a kid.
Where,
Very
if you're comfortable saying, where about overseas are you?
Yeah, I'm in Saudi Arabia.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, yep.
Very nice.
All right.
Where did you grow up with Scott?
We went to school together in California. So we went to high school together, yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
There's a lot of tandems like that, pairs of dudes or family members in this league that, have brought in friends. That's great. That's what, keeps the glue and keeps us all together. I think it's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Before we sign off,
game.
I just want to go back to one thing you guys were saying, which was the must runs for Mahomes. Tim, Mr. Irvin, that is.
Yeah.
Can you believe that coming into the game, Mahomes has only had 6 must runs all season, and one of them.
No way.
One of them.
You mean while I'm playing him for the first what? So I'm 6 of. So you mean for 9 games he only had 6 must runs?
Hard to believe, right?
That's
Especially when one of those must runs literally beat me, right? And
that's right.
And then Mr. Hay mentions it today as a killer tool. Yeah, just it's hard to believe. I was looking at my paper; it said I had to go to the actual report, but just 6. Interesting, right?
Yeah. Well, I've done a lot more flat passing. It's it's situational specific, and this matchup dictated more of a short pass agenda. But I've done a lot more flat passing than short. If you look at Mahomes' short pass card on right, it's just not really what
Mhm.
you expect from Mahomes. It's not. I mean, it's not bad, but it's definitely not a good short pass card. So that limits his opportunities for me. That and the
Well, great.
fact that he has the sack fumble rating that is so horrible, that mitigates my willingness to take risks as well.
Anything else to add, Mr. Hay?
No, just a great game, Tim. That was fun. I was going into this, I had said to a friend I didn't really expect to be hanging around that long in this game. And the turnovers killed me. But you had some great ball control throughout the game, and that's what you ate up a lot of yardage with that. So well played.
Well, it was a good game, and it's nice to officially meet you. I'm sure glad to
You
do that and
too.
have you in the league, Tim.
You too. Thank you.
And Anthony,
Yeah.
thanks for covering the game, man. I was hoping at some point we'd get at least one Chiefs broadcast in the mix here.
I got most of the second half. Thanks so
that's
much.
cool.
Nice to meet
Thanks,
you, Mr. Hay, over StreamYard, and Mr. Irvin. I'm sure I'll see you another broadcast soon.
All right,
All right.
sounds good. Hey, have a
Take it
great
easy,
weekend,
fellas.
guys.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.